Good afternoon. This is Charles Felix, owner publisher of Cannabis News Florida, and we have with us one of the executives from one of the new MMTCs in the state of Florida, Flowery. I'd like to introduce you to Steph Frohock, who is the VP of Marketing and Sales for the Flowery. Steph, say hello to the people.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to join today, and thank you for having me.
One of the things we're going to do today, as you're watching, we're interviewing a lot of different people from the different MMTCs, and starting off with Steph today. So, Steph, tell us a little bit about why you, as an individual, and we'll get into the companies in a little bit, but why you, as an individual, felt that the cannabis business was a good place for you to land.
So I come from the beer, wine, and spirits world, and so there's a couple of similarities, but to me, this seemed like an exciting new opportunity, and the passion for the patients and the positivity that what cannabis brings to patients is just such an amazing thing. So I felt like it was just a good transition from my past to my future.
And we were talking a little bit earlier about the personal situation that kind of brought you in for the medical aspects of cannabis. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I have three brothers. The youngest of the three, he was in the military and he served 2 tours in Iraq, and he suffered from PTSD severely and was on prescription drugs and whatnot. And sadly, he passed away 3 years ago, and he was really the family member that was pushing for us to get our license because he had such a passion for it. And so when he passed away, it was something that meant so much to our family to really take the lead on what he was pushing for in the beginning, because we have been fighting for this license for at least 6 years.
Right.
So it's something near and dear to our hearts, and it's something that his legacy that we want to really make him proud.
Well, that's great. That's great. Tell me a little bit about, I guess it's the family business. The
Yeah.
Flowery is the family business. So tell us kind of how it started off, what the Flowery was before and it became the Flowery, and how it grew into what it is today.
So my family, I'm actually fourth generation Floridian from Homestead. My family has been growing some sort of agriculture. So next year will mark 100 years actually, which is something to be proud of. In the
Wow.
last 40 years, my family has had a nursery business, and with ornamentals and palm trees and whatnot. And that is how we got the license, is through that nursery. Um, so like I said, we've been fighting for 6 years to get the license. We actually are one of the 7 that then had to sue the state. So we didn't get the original license. We got one of the 7 that was given most recently.
Right.
So all of our efforts have paid off. But yeah, I think we actually might be the only one that got the license as a nursery that's actually created a company.
Right. I think a lot of people who have gotten the licenses might have sold the licenses to other cannabis companies. Absolutely. I think
Right.
you're correct.
Right.
So tell me, product wise, well, let me ask this. How did you come up with the name Flowery?
So there's a couple reasons why, actually, and it was a big debate and quite a few months and trying to figure it out. And it was actually the first name that everyone equally said, yes, we totally agree. So Ponce de Leon actually first nicknamed Florida La Flowery. And then the other thing is we're flower focused. That is we want to grow, and we are growing the best medical marijuana flower on the market, arguably. And so everything is about the flowers. And I kind of coming from the wine world, it's kind of like saying, hey, I'm going to the winery or the brewery, I'm going to the flowery. So those 3 things really kind of tied together, and it just made sense.
Yeah, I think the name is fabulous. To be honest with you, I think it has a lot of life to it, and I think that's great. So, and you just touched on a little bit. So, tell us a little bit about how you decided what kind of products you wanted to do, because obviously, people looking at this will realize that within the state of Florida, not only do you have to grow it, you got to process it, and then you have to sell it. So it's a vertical operation, which is a little bit different, I guess, than the nursery to a certain, obviously to a big degree. But tell us what kind of products you're looking at, for the first, as your first, I'd say, crop coming up, and how you're handling all that.
Yeah, so we again wanted to focus on the flower. The better your flower is, the better it is for the patient. So that is something that we truly believed in, and that is our primary focus. And I just lost my train of thought. So that's the primary focus, is growing the best flower possible. And the other point to that is that we heard so many people saying that they're out of stock of flower, they need better flower. They compare Florida to other markets, and we've heard a lot of people say that the Florida market just isn't there with the flowers. So that is something that we wanted to focus on, and we are focusing on. Right now we have 9 strains available on our website. Again, being a family-owned business and it being vertical, we're taking one step at a time, and we don't want to grow too big or too fast. We also don't want to be out of stock. So we're focusing on a very specific area so that we can make sure that we always have stock for our patients.
That's great. And I guess right now you are the company, and you said you had how many strains right now? You had 9 strains.
And we're releasing more. So.
Right. And so your model today is a delivery model. You don't have what I would call a brick and mortar dispensary at the current time. So tell us a little bit about the delivery model for Miami. I know you're doing Miami-Dade, Monroe, and you're delivering also in Fort Lauderdale, correct?
Correct. So we are next day delivery in Miami-Dade and Monroe. And then we are doing these patient drop-offs at doctor's offices. So we just started doing that. We've partnered with Doc MJ, but we'll be going to other ones as well, so that because we have received a lot of emails and people wanting it in other cities. So our solution, because we don't have a brick and mortar yet, is to do these doctor drop-offs so that we can go across the state.
Yeah, and I know the business for a while. It's a tough one because you have to deliver it yourself.
Yes.
You can't use delivery services. It would be great to be able to use somebody like Amazon to do that, but obviously you have to have your employees, your people, and your vehicles be able to deliver it, and that's a constraint unless you really have a distribution network throughout the state. It's very, very tough to do.
It is, and I mean, my brothers, they do it for a living with their plants, but it's a different thing. They're doing B2B, where this is customers, and we have to drive 2 people in the car. There's a lot of challenges. The patient has to be there. It's not like Amazon where you could just leave the package at the front door.
Right.
So there's a lot of complexities to it.
Yeah. So a little bit, we didn't discuss this ahead of time, but your grow is obviously in Homestead. That's where your farm is, in Homestead, correct? How many square feet, if you know, do you have under roof right now growing? Because you have to grow indoors. You can't grow outdoors.
There are other people growing outdoors. We do not. We have 100% indoor only growing facility. I don't know the square footage, to be honest. I can't get back to you on that, but.
Okay, no problem. But I know growing indoors, because everything else, all your other your products. In fact, in the state of Florida, I think it's almost mandatory to grow indoors. Or
it's not.
It's not. You can grow outdoors. I didn't realize that. Really.
That's one of the reasons what makes ours such great flowers, because it's 100% indoors. So the reason why is because flower was just recently approved. A lot of the other dispensaries, they were growing outside because they were doing extracts and things that you didn't need so much quality control. But when you're growing flower, you really, produce amazing flower, you have to be doing it inside. And ours are actually in small containers as well. So that, again, with quality control, these are small batched, we do small batches.
Right.
Which again, produces a better flower.
Great. So, kind of on a wrap up here, we talked about the flower. What about 2021? You know, we're hopefully coming to an end of 2020 pretty soon. I think everybody's ready to push this one over the cliff. But which is an interesting time for you to really come out with your products was in 2020. So that was really a bold move. But what do you look for in 2021? Product size, product distribution, possibly some dispensaries. What are we looking at in the crystal ball, as one might say?
So right now we're at a small, we have a small facility, and next year we're going to start building at a different location, a larger one.
Okay.
So that's something that's exciting. And then we'll have at least one dispensary, maybe two, depending. And then doing some delivery hubs so that we have like a spot so we're not having people driving all the way from Homestead up to
Right.
Orlando.
Right. That's and some MMTCs do that. They build in strategic locations to be able to make it easier for patients to come there, or basically use it as a distribution center to be able to deliver out,
Okay.
which is I guess less expensive than building brick and mortar stores, as one might say. So anything else you want to kind of tell us about the company? Are you hiring? Are you looking for people? Any positions? If people want to get a hold of you to kind of discuss, things that they do within the business, maybe you can kind of give your information. That would be great.
No, I would love to. We are collecting resumes, but we're not quite hiring quite yet, but we will be, especially drivers and trimmers. That's the other thing. So we do 100%. We trim all of our flowers by hand, which most companies do not do.
That's correct. Yes.
So we'll be hiring more trimmers and drivers and customer service and all of that. So we definitely will be in the very near future, just not at the present moment. And we're setting it up online because we have had quite a few people reach out to us already, so that on our website soon you'll be able to upload your resume. And then once we're ready, then we'll start calling candidates.
Great. Now, what is your website? What is your website, by the way?
Oh, that's important. So theflowery.co, not .co.
Okay.
And any sort of relationships or marketing or PR, please reach out to me directly at Steph@theflowery.co.
Great. Steph, any other things you want to kind of discuss? And you can be watching, Steph. We've talked about keeping our audience updated through our newsletter and newspaper by getting press releases and information from Steph about the Flowery. One of the up and coming MMTCs in the state, providing quality flower for those connoisseurs.
Exactly.
Anything else, Steph, you want to say? Any parting words?
No, I think that was about it. Like I said, I greatly appreciate your time and you having me on. This is an exciting time for all of us, and I'm happy to join the passionate cannabis industry.
Great. Now, again, for those of you who maybe want to write it down again, the website is www.theflowery.co. Don't forget about that. And you can reach Steph at Steph, STEPH, at theflowery.co to kind of communicate with her. If you have any information you want to get, or you want to be able to send her information, that would be great. And look at the website. The website is young but robust at this point in time. They have all their products listed, and they are on delivery mode. So they'll make it work for you. Steph, I appreciate you coming by today, and look forward to working with you in the future.
Likewise. Thank you so much.